Hello everyone, it's Shanea O'Connor again with TrueBloodFansource.com. I apologize for not having a video blog up last week. I kind of got overwhelmed with writing a bunch of articles, and it was a really emotional episode for me because I am a fan of Pam and Eric, and even though that scene, it doesn't necessarily mean the end of Pam and Eric, of course, or that the actors will cease working together, but it was just really, really sad. So I didn't really know what to say about that episode because I was kind of upset that they did that, even though I know that it's necessary. But I'm going to make this brief because I'm supposed to be going home to pack for Comic-Con. I'm leaving tomorrow, even though things don't start until Wednesday, and the convention officially starts Thursday. Don't worry though, you will be in good hands if you're reading our coverage from elsewhere and you're not attending the convention. I have staff members who are staying behind, Heather and Lisa, and they will be covering all of the Comic-Con coverage while I'm gone from other sources, and I will bring you my on-the-ground coverage as much as I can from Comic-Con. So just briefly to talk about the episode, last night was kind of, it was an interesting episode. The opener last night was one of the best openers I've seen in a while. It's just because, you know, you see Alcide and Sookie and, you know, you expect them to have sex, and what you don't expect necessarily is for Sookie to throw up on Alcide's shoes and then have Bill and Eric standing behind her. I thought that was a well-placed scene, and I thoroughly enjoyed it just because I found it quite comical. And I don't know about you, but I kind of like the fact that the writers seem to be acknowledging this whole Sookie obsession and all of this that the rest of the characters have with her. I think it's very tongue-in-cheek, and it's good for the show because, you know, it's nice to not take yourself so seriously all the time. But alternatively, it was good to see Sookie strike back later in the episode when they were going into the haunted hospital and sticking up for herself and say, no, you know, I'm going in and I'm basically protecting the two of you because I have the fairy powers and you don't. So that was good. Pam and Tara, I'm really liking the episode. I didn't get to watch it the second time around yet, and I might tonight go back and watch it on HBO Go. But yeah, I like their relationship. I didn't really see it so much in a sexual context as I just saw it as, you know, Pam asserting her dominance over Tara. And I think I was very hesitant when I realized that Pam was probably going to be the one to turn Tara at the end of last season. But I have to say that I'm really liking their dynamic. They seem to be a really good fit for each other. And it's good to see. The other thing I like too is that they're showing more of Fantasia active and not just closed or going to it when somebody has a crisis. So I like that kind of as the second hangout spot, and it gives people more things to do outside of the context of Merlotte's. And I like that Jessica befriended Tara, but I also like that whole thing of Tara kind of not necessarily, you know, saying, oh yeah, we're BFFs right away. Because that's very true to Tara's character, and I'm glad that they're keeping that aspect of her personality intact. Let's see, who do I want to go to next? Oh, now Lafayette I'm not quite sure what to make of that storyline. Obviously, something has happened to Jesus spiritually since last time we saw him, because last time we saw him, he was all peace and light and happy. But he's not so happy right now. His head appeared on Lafayette's nightstand or his table, and it appeared to Ruby Jean. So obviously something's going on, and it probably has to do with the fact that Lafayette has somehow internalized some of the dark magic Jesus had when he was alive. Terry and Patrick. I'm really happy to see that storyline pay off. I know that a lot of people on Twitter last night were saying that they were glad to see something finally happen, because it feels like we've been building for that storyline since the beginning of the season, and we haven't seen much action. But now we know that the new supernatural being is an Ifrit, or Ifrit. And an Ifrit is real, by the way. HBO tweeted a link last night as soon as it was introduced to Wikipedia, and an Ifrit is a supernatural being that is known in Islamic and Arabic cultures, and it's something that they believe in. It's a mythical being, smoke monster type thing. So that's really, I'm kind of interested to see how that turns out. Though I'm sort of kind of bothered by the fact that, they're showing, they showed that whole scene where they basically murdered a bunch of people and then they burn their bodies. And I'm not saying that I'm bothered at the violence of it, because I actually, I'm an international relations major in the other aspect of my life, and I know that happens. I've been exposed to that. One of my classmates actually did a presentation about how soldiers treat bodies during time of war and how they keep trophies and stuff. So that's not like out of the ordinary, but I don't know. It just seemed, there's just something not that I was just bothered by. Sam and Luna, that's another interesting one. They were both shot by people in Obama masks, which I didn't know until the Hollywood Reporter just pointed it out a few minutes ago on my Twitter feed. And I really don't know what to say about that. I'm going to kind of try to stay away from the political in terms of real life and what's going on. I know that True Blood is inherently, or has, I should say, political themes to it, but I want to try to stay in the context of the show rather than speak to other viewpoints in real life, because I know that people have different opinions and different viewpoints, and out of respect for that, I'm not going to comment, because I have my own as well, and it's a certain view, and I don't want to bias that. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on with all of the shootings, but someone's gunning for all the supernaturals. And it's going to be interesting to see who it is. And True Blood, True-Blood.net, one of the other big True Blood fan sites, actually pointed out that this is like the first time that Sam has told Andy that he's a shapeshifter, which if he told him before, we might have forgotten, but that was interesting to see, because Andy didn't really have any reaction. But it's really interesting to see this sort of war going on both sides, because we have this war against the supernaturals, and then we have this war going on with the vampires, between the vampires, the sanguinistas and the mainstreamers. So there's lots of war going on. but it gives all the actors plenty to do. Hoyt, that was interesting to see him dressed up as a fangbanger, and I was actually kind of surprised that Tara. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised because she's a babe vampire, but I was kind of surprised that she did go ahead and take him up on his offer. And it's of course no surprise that Jessica like went to throw down with Tara over it when she found out. So they're gonna have to kind of resolve something, Hoyt and Jessica. But Pam obviously is not thrilled with Tara. I mean, you know, she's still getting used to being a maker. But by the way, did anyone catch Pam in the meeting when she was telling Tara that she had to bartend, that Fantasia was hers now? So Eric, I guess, gave all control of everything over to Pam. Now that he's going to, quote, die, which I have a problem with, but that's just me. I mean, it's Alexander Skarsgård. They're not going to kill off him or Stephen Moyer because they're the two male leads of the show. So, yeah, I have a problem with that. But, yeah, who dug up Russell? It was the other question of the episode. At first, I thought it was Salome who dug him up, but perhaps it was Lilith, because I keep reading interviews with various cast members that say, oh, you know, Lilith is coming, da-da-da-da. So I can't help but wonder if we're actually going to see some sort of incarnation and she's responsible. I mean, I know it's crazy, but I figure that it's either her or Salome, because I don't think it's Nora, because if it was Nora, she would have broke already. And they've already tortured the poor woman like a bunch of times. I mean, she's gone a little bit crazy. So yeah, Eric has a crazy sister now, thanks to all that torture. But yeah, that's pretty intense. And I don't know, I said this on Twitter, but did anyone feel like they were in a Ghost Hunters episode while Sookie and Bill and Alcide and Eric were looking for Russell? I mean, I just kept waiting for like them to pull out an EMF reader or whatever and start like talking, expecting Russell to talk back. But obviously, as we saw in the preview, if you haven't seen it, it's up on triplefanssource.com. Russell is quite strong, and he's going after Sookie. And I'm excited to see Russell because Dennis O'Hare is a great actor, and he brought a lot to the part. He's also tremendously popular. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him back. So I'm really anxious to see kind of what they do. I mean, I know he's teased his stuff, but it'll be interesting to see if he sticks around beyond this season. Speaking of this season, last week, True Blood was renewed for season 6 officially, which is one of the reasons why I think I got caught up in writing articles, because it seemed like there was a flood of news. So there will be a season 6, so who's going to survive to season 6? Jason is on a mystery of his own, solving his parents' death, and it looks like vampires might be responsible. So will he survive? We don't know. Because that was one of the things that I posted earlier. I think it was last month. I posted something from E-Online that asked, is Jason going to survive the season? And judging by the fact he's going after vampires and he's going to have to deal with some fairies because he saw Hadley in the last episode, we're going to have to see. If he's going to survive, he could be in danger. We know somebody's going to die. We don't know who. I'm betting if somebody does die, it's gonna be somebody maybe we've met, but I don't think it's going to be anyone that is appearing at Comic-Con this Saturday. But it'll be interesting to see who it is. So I think that's about it, and I apologize if this vlog, or whatever you'd like to call it, video blog, seems a little bit schizophrenic, but I'm trying to get it done so that it's up, because leaving the town is stressful. But I promise that I will bring you as much comprehensive coverage as I can. There are 2 panels. I think it is Friday. Yes, there's 3 panels on Friday. One features Kristen from 4 to 5, which I will be in. But then, unfortunately, I'm forced to make a choice. Audrey Fisher is running a panel, I think it's from 6 to 7. And then one of the writers, Angela Robinson, the newest writer who wrote this last episode, Boot and Rally, is doing a panel, and they overlap. So I'm going to have to make a choice as to which one I will see, because I can't be at both. I'm thinking it will probably be the Audrey Fisher panel, but we'll keep you updated. And just as a reminder, I will be covering other panels. I might post them on True Blood Fan Source. I haven't decided yet, but they will definitely be on my sister site, televisionsource.net, and I will post a link to the site. I created it last month for the ATX Television Festival, but I haven't really had a lot of time to work on it since the True Blood season started, but I'll make sure to put a link up to that. So I'm going to sign off. I hope that you will tune into my coverage of Comic-Con if you're not going to be there. And if you are, I'm probably going to be giving away some swag. And tomorrow, I'm actually going to be launching a contest in conjunction with VModa. And so I'm excited about that. I will launch that before I leave. And you'll have about a week. I just have to decide what the parameters are. So have a good week, everybody, and I will see you later.